Most people believe that leadership begins the day they are given a title, a promotion, a platform, an office, a microphone. But that is not how leadership works. Leadership begins the moment you decide to take responsibility. Jesus said, "Whoever wants to be great among you must be your servant." That completely flips the world's idea of leadership. Great leaders don't start by being in charge, they start by serving. Look at Joseph. When he became governor of Egypt, everyone saw the position. But what they didn't see were the years he spent leading before anyone recognized him. He was faithful as a slave in Potiphar's house. He was faithful as a prisoner. No title, no applause, no guarantee that anyone would ever notice. Yet everywhere Joseph went, people trusted him with more responsibility. Why? Because leadership has already been built in his character long before it appeared in his title. That is how leadership works. Position reveals what responsibility has already developed. Too many people spend their lives wanting to be chosen. They are waiting to become the manager before they lead, waiting to become the husband before they become responsible, waiting to become the pastor before they start serving. But real leaders don't wait for permission. They solve problems. They serve people. They make things better wherever they are. That is influence. Even in the Garden of Eden, Adam's first assignment wasn't to rule people. It was to care for what God had entrusted to him. Responsibility came before authority. And the same principle still applies today. People don't follow titles. They follow trust. They follow consistency. They follow men whose life proved they can be depended on. You can probably think of someone like that right now. Maybe they don't have the highest position in the room, but when there is a crisis, everyone looks to them. Why? Because they've earned influence through responsibility. And then there is Jesus, the greatest example of leadership the world has ever seen. He didn't lead by demanding service. He led by serving. He healed the sick. He washed his disciples' feet. He gave his life for people who could never repay him. That is why billions follow him today. Not because he held a position, but because he demonstrated perfect love, sacrifice, and service. So here is the question. If nobody gave you a title, would people still see you as a leader? Would your family trust you? Would your friends depend on you? Would your workplace be better because you're there? Leadership isn't about the badge on your chest. It is about the burden you're willing to carry. Start where you are. Take responsibility for your home, your work, your friendships, your community. Because God has always promoted men who prove faithful in the small things. Remember this, leadership isn't a position you receive. It is a responsibility you choose. My name is Ike Ojibe, and this is my unsolicited advice.